It was suggested to me that I make a video about why I wrote this album, so I'd like to take you on a journey. You know, the interesting thing about the word grief, it's layered with so much complexity. Often people equate it with being sad, but yes, the emotions can be heavy, but they can also be centered on love and honor. And it's why I was surprised after recording the album that it parallels the 5 stages of grief. That theme wasn't originally planned, but it was discovered through this journey of my personal experience with grief. 2021 and 2022 were some of the most difficult years of my life. It began with the heart-shattering news that my amazing dad, my best friend, my mentor and North Star, he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he was gone within months. That pain was overwhelming. And how could somebody so full of life just be taken? Watching him slip away day by day, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I mean, it's hard to put into words how shocking and devastating it was to see someone so physically active, someone who had climbed the base camp of Mount Everest in his late 60s, to watch him become so painfully thin and frail and then just gone. While I was putting on a brave front for him, I was essentially playing emotional Tetris, fitting in every feeling into this tight, constricting container hidden inside, so then I could go to work and take care of clients and then go home to take care of family. But these emotions were so conflicting because I'm seeing my family grow and my business grow, and yet I'm seeing my dad die. In the depths of my grief, I found solace in the act of creation. Writing in my car here became my refuge. It was my way of channeling this pain into something that felt cathartic. As the writing took on a life of its own, I realized that it was no longer just a personal emotional outlet, but a way to connect with others who were going through similar situations. This experience wasn't completely out of left field for me. I mean, back in 2010, I recorded an album by driving back and forth from San Diego to LA every week. I didn't know anyone in the music industry. I saved up for it. I reached out to a producer expressing my vision, and it worked out. But right after receiving the box of CDs, I set the project down because at the time, the only way to really connect with an audience was on tour. And honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I didn't believe I had anything musically unique or important enough to say that warranted the energy for that. So I made the album for me, and I considered it a success. Finding myself in this situation, I never expected to write and record another album at almost 40 years old while running a business and raising 3 young kids. My younger self wondered again if what I had to say would add value or create noise. After all, I was simply crying in the form of words with this album. But I joined several grief groups on Facebook, and when a stranger shared with me that they played one of my songs at their family member's funeral, that truly moved me. It honestly felt as impactful as I imagine winning a Grammy Award would feel. Going through this, it's wild how clear everything is right now. It's as if I'm living life in 8K resolution. Every priority feels so crystal clear. I just feel every joy deeply and the heartache just the same. I honestly think it's why people have connected so intensely with the songs, because the emotions were very raw when writing them. When everything started happening with my dad, it felt as if I had no control and I could not fix it. Having a container to essentially hold all of the intense feelings I was having, it felt comforting. I learned that pain can be a catalyst for transformation, that even in our darkest moments, there is always a chance for renewal. And with this album, I recorded it for me, but I'm releasing it for you. So I carry on, as you must, in your own way after an intense loss. A little more vulnerable, but also a little stronger. And I know that's what my amazing dad would want me to do. To keep going, keep creating, keep loving. For learning to be resilient, I'm feeling blessed and grateful. Thank you for listening.